With the massive success to Monsters Inc. released in 2001, Pixar wanted to make a sequel to the movie titled Monsters Inc. 2 Lost in Paradise, made by Circle 7 Animation, who also worked on the famous movie Toy Story. Mike and Sully do appear to be older, as if Sully is now wearing a tie in the film. The plot would then revolving to paying a visit to Boo for her birthday, but instead they found an elderly lady in her bed. This believes that Boo has moved houses. Mike and Sully must travel to the human world to find her. The project was going smoothly until May of 2006 that Circle 7 made an announcement on their closure. Disney did not renew them in 2004, and Disney brought out Pixar in 2006, which means that all films we're working on were scrapped completely. While Toy Story 3 and Finding Dory did happen, but however, Monsters Inc. 2 never saw the light of day. The ending would have been dark, after that they realizing that the elderly lady was Boo all along. Some concept arts and storyboards has been released to the public, but some questions about the sequel. Pete Docter, the director of Monsters Inc., said that, quote-unquote, "We purposely went with a prequel for Monsters University because we didn't want to answer some of the questions about what happens to Boo and how does she grow up, things like that. It would have been very compelling, which is what the benchmark for all the sequels anyways." And that is that. It will never be released in Monsters Inc. 2 Lost in Paradise. There is one final note, is that Disney Plus is actually going to be airing a sequel, the actual sequel, going to be called Monsters at Work, which is going to be an upcoming Disney Plus show, will be releasing in 2021. Let's see if Boo will even appear in the series or even make a cameo at one. Pokemon the Movie 3, also known by Lore of the Unknown Tower, was a movie that was released on March 29, 2001. The plot would revolve on rescuing Delia Ketchum from Entei and the little girl who apparently calls Entei father. Wait, Entei had a human daughter? This is the first time that a Pokemon marries a human being? And the film was really lax stuff. But did you know there was actually an early script of the movie development? Development of the movie started in somewhere in 1990. The exact year is unknown. All I know is that this was even before Pokemon Crystal for the Game Boy Color became a thing. The first draft was written by Tatsuya Suruo, the main writer of the anime series, to the point where it has produced the first two movies. The same writer who also changed Pokemon the Movie 2000's writing. The original plot would have devolved into the mystery of how the world came to inhabited by Pokemon and what happens to the rare world animals that once existed in the past. This would have been explored through a discovery of a fossil in the Pokemon world, the fossil of the rare world Tyrannosaurus Rex, also known by Jurassic Park. The fossil would restore back to life, leading to the creatures going on a rampage across the Kanto region. The anime's main protagonists, Ash, his Pikachu, Brock, and Misty, and even the show's main antagonist, Team Rocket, will have spent the movie bringing the dinosaurs' rampage to an end. Suruo spends half a year developing this plot, which was shot down by the producers under a reason that, quote-unquote, a story where a bunch of members gain consciousness and come to life won't be a hit. The original script was sold for 1 billion yen, which converts to equals to $8 million, and the buyer's name was Sue. The location of the sale, as well as they have the script, is currently unknown during this time, making the first official script completely lost. Chicken Little 2 was supposed to be a 2005 Disney animated film that would serve as the continuation of Chicken Little, and the video game title Chicken Little Ace in Action. Before Ace in Action became a game, it was intended to be a film instead of an actual video game. The plot is really unknown, but here's what it has been about. Chicken Little finds himself in a love triangle relationship with Abby Marilyn, who's an ugly duckling, and an attractive newcomer named Raffaella. If I say that wrong, I do apologize. The French sheep. Abby is at a huge disadvantage due to her new looks. She gave herself a new makeover in order to get Chicken Little back by her side. The earliest work what I can see what exists is a 2005 Dorothy Kimberly and Italian book titled Chicken Little: The Essential Guide. There was very little information about the movie. In an interview with Todd Carter, who continued with the story development, revealing that the plot is described as a love triangle relationship, The film was cancelled due to because Carter was afraid that the executives were not confident it would perform well. The only existence that at this media is that only story was to exist in the day in 2014. There is nothing more to be said with this movie. It's very sad, as if Chicken Little was a really massive success movie back in 2005 in favor of My People, which is also another lost film. In this film, Chicken Little Ace in Action was a lost movie. Hey, at least we got a video game series, so we can enjoy that from there. Food Fight is a CGI animated movie from Terrestrial Animation Studios, considered to be that it's going to be one of the worst animated films of all times. The new title belongs to the Emoji Movie, which is far worse, but there is an actual history behind it. There is an earlier version of the film. The movie titled Food Fight, the original one, was set to be released on Christmas of 2003. The hard drives were reportedly stolen, and the production was stuck on development for a hell of a decade. And I mean a hell of a decade, and I mean they're stuck for about a really long time. Development of the film began in 2002, and after that stolen, leaving the entire film progress back to square one. Who could have stole it? It is unknown, as the majority of the budget were already spent on licensing products, mascots, actors, and production. So, what did Food Fight even do? Oh yeah, it was given a new live action take, and it was produced by a very restricted budget, using the Salvation software, meaning that they didn't have enough money to make the movie even successful as it is. It is unknown how much Food Fight is actually available to the public, and within the hard drives, it was only 60% completion, but the 40% remains is unknown. Only original trailer, few weirs, and even some concept arts are the only piece of film that is existent upon writing this video. There are two known Popeye movies, the first one being a live action, which is a complete train wreck, and the other one as a Wacky World. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at the one that is the Wacky World one. Popeye is a computer animated feature film starring Popeye the Sailor from Sony Pictures Animations. In 2014, director Jenny Tascaroa released an animation test footage featuring Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants, Brim was the voice of Popeye. Despite being well received, in March of 2005, he announced that he was no longer working on the project, and instead went to direct Hotel Transylvania 2, and his original work, Can You Imagine It? Many people believe that the movie was cancellation due to the fabled Emoji Movie, but Sony Pictures Animation confirms that this was actually not true. They did state that the project was still under quote-unquote development. This was postponed due to because of Jenny Tascaroa temporarily left Sony Pictures Animation to work on the final season of Samurai Jack for Cartoon Network Studios, aired on Adult Swim, and later on went back to Sony with an idea for a Dutch Hotel Transylvania movie. Whether or not he will be working at the Popeye is currently unknown. While nothing shown to the complete movie, only a short trailer of Popeye in the movie actually existed in its debut. Other than that, we're gonna have to see if Popeye will ever be completed or not. The Search for Mickey Mouse was a 2002 Disney animated film, which was produced at Disney Studios in Florida. The film would have been made to Mickey Mouse's 75th anniversary. The plot would have revolved of Mickey Mouse being mouse smacked, get it? And Minnie hires a mouse named Basil for the Great Mouse Detective. It is up to Minnie, Basil, Donald, and Goofy to look for him. This was originally canceled in 2002 due to the writers were having a very hard time writing an interesting story with the concept of every Disney character makes cameo every few minutes, except for characters from The Emperor's New Groove. This was unknown why these characters won't be appearing in the film. I just don't have any idea. When it was revealed the film was being done by CGI animated featuring a CGI Mickey Mouse and a test footage for the upcoming theaters, then was later changed to direct-to-DVD, making the release in 2005. When that time came, nothing, which later was proven wrong that Krunks' New Groove was released in 2005 as a direct-to-DVD. What's even more details is that the CGI would have been used on a special title, Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas, in a Disney World attraction called Mickey's Philipper Magic. There was no hope for this film to be released. And also in 2005, when a radio station known by WDW posted a podcast on the website that the film would be released in 2012 would be Disney's 50th animated film. When the time came, nothing. Tangled became the studio's 50th animated feature in 2010, proving this rumor completely false. There is no footage or any screenshot of the film to ever to be released. Some rumors even stated that The Three Musketeers was produced instead of this, focusing on Mickey, Donald, and Goofy fighting Pete to save Minnie Mouse. This film would have been Sonic's big screen debut in 1994, but things were changed during its development, which caused it to be fully cancelled. The plot would have revolved on Josh, a 12-year-old boy written on his school paper on a test pilot featuring Sonic, but he didn't finish his paper on time, knowing that from quote-unquote memory, the teacher threatens the boy if he doesn't do it by tomorrow morning, his parents would have been called. So it continues to the point of the film would be Josh's family were the voice in the film, which makes it very scary for young audiences. Josh's dad tells him not to touch his greatest invention. He does it anyways and plugs in Sonic Extreme on it and causes a havoc. And Hal finds out and asks Josh what happened. He lied to him saying the burglars broke the place. Lisa, Josh's mother, took Josh back to her house depressed and goes to sleep. Then, Sonic apparently finds him, wakes him up, saying that he is getting weaker due to him not being in the game. It is up to Sonic and Josh to find the Chaos Emeralds to defeat Dr. Robotnik and his new villain henchmen. Sonic was at the height of his popularity in around the early 1990s, so Sega signed a deal with MGM and Trilogy Entertainment to create a film based on the Blue Hedgehog. Michelle Risley, if I say that wrong, I apologize, tasked Richard Jeffries with the writing a treatment for the film. The executive liked the script, but everyone was unsure who the villain should be. Richard was asked by Shiroe Toro to change the villain, as the executive thought that the story was about being Sonic fighting Robotnik would not be not new to Sonic fans. Michelle Risley didn't agree with this, saying that quote-unquote, Robotnik was a great villain in the animated series and the games. Richard agrees with Risley saying, and they are probably trying to develop a new bad guy for the games. However, before Richard could even given a go-ahead to start writing the script of a new villain, MGM quit the deal with Sega. Richard says this, quote-unquote, I don't know when exactly it happened, but I got a call from my agent saying that MGM and Sega could have come in agreement on a cooperative level that would work for them. It wasn't going to work out, and they were going to pay me off. And I thought, gee, that's too bad, because it's a really good idea. Richard was given permission to shop around the script when he contacted DreamWorks about animating the film. However, they were not interested in animating the film due to the fact that Sega wanted a large sum portion of the money for the rights up to the character Sonic, and DreamWorks wanted to use a low-priced character that they could, quote-unquote, breathe new life into. And just remember that DreamWorks was a new animation film during the time, also was developing Chicken Run during this time. Richard realized that the film would never be made after DreamWorks' deal failed. Sonic Extreme was also officially canceled in 1997, only worsening the film's chances of production. The script of For Wonders of the World has never surfaced, and due to the evolution of Sonic over the years and the cancel of Sonic Extreme, the film will probably never made. The full plot will be linked in the description below. But I can't further tell you that the ending of the movie would have been that Josh was tasked to place the XLR away because it was too dangerous. He does so, and Sonic looks at Josh with a wink before returning to the business in Sonic X-treme, making this one of the legendary lost films of all times. The Sonic movie we got now is the Sonic movie 2020, and this was a massive hit. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was greenlit to be happening, and the new release date of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 will be releasing on April 8th, 2022. We'll have to see if Sonic 2 will be just as good as the original Sonic movie with the new features of the lost feature films.